Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Salem's Lot is a disaster. This is the remake film thing. Ugh, I don't know, readaptation, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be taking a look at the rumours that's been circulating, and then I'm going to add my own information. I've tweeted about this a fair few times, actually. I've replied to a lot of high-profile tweeters, tweeting things like discussing film. All these, even Stephen King, I replied to Stephen King, because they've been banging on about Salem's Lot. I knew 2 years ago, I heard that Salem's Lot was unsalvageable. And there must be a video of it, a fair while ago that I did as well. I'll try and find it if I can. I'll leave it linked above. But I've heard this. It's been delayed for ages because it's unsalvageable and it's a complete fucking mess. So let's take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're newer, folks. Salem's Lot remake delayed by heavy interference by Warner Brothers. Now, I'll tell you what I've heard. And again, I'm reading an email from 2 years ago, September of 2022. There was a screening 2 years ago of Salem's Lot. It was god-awful then, and at that point, it was pretty well renowned that, yeah, there's a reason that film had got delayed until next year. And it had only been delayed until 2023 at that point, but now it's delayed even further. And it is because it's unsalvageable. Just genuinely unsalvageable. So, yeah. Test screening did not go well. It bombed hard. Really, really, really hard bomb. So, anyway, here you go. Rumour. We'll take a look at what this says anyway. So, this is to say why it's unsalvageable. I don't necessarily agree, quite frankly. I don't know. I just know it's bad. So, new intel aims to shed light on what actually happened to the Salem's Lot remake, which was supposed to come out in theatres 3 years ago. Sorry. Spoilers, got nothing to do with the pandemic or finances, but everything to do with studio interference. Again, I mean, yeah, it's a bad film. So, the Kingdom Movie Channel has posted an update in which the host goes over the email from an alleged insider close to the situation that blows the lid off what's been going on behind the scenes. Now, this might be true. Like, my source isn't an insider at Warner Brothers. My source sees movies, basically. So the delays dating back to that time boiled down to the film being very, very unbalanced, according to a trusted person at Warner Brothers. The owner of the proprietor of the streaming service Max, where Salem's Lot will probably pitch its tent. It said that director Gary Doberman, who's known for the Conjuring films and recent Swamp Thing series, had a specific vision for the film that was faithful to the book. However, producer James Wan looked at the project as a remake of the 1979 miniseries instead. So Warner Brothers, potentially concerned they'd have a 3-hour movie on their hands and repeat the mistakes of Dr. Sleep, wanted a slimmer, trimmer movie with a faster pace. Kingdom Channel's purveyor and host says, via his source, that all of these factors collided together with a drastic impact on the finished product, as all the differing points of view were noticeable in test screenings. That coincides with what I knew of it anyway. The first 10 minutes are like a Conjuring movie, for instance, whereas the final act is more action-packed, with the climax including a swarm of vampires attacking a drive-in theatre. This is a departure from how Hooper's more contained miniseries ended. However, there are scenes straight out of the 79 version, such as when the vampires creep outside windows. The problem is Kingdom Channel adds that they feel inserted last minute because they clash with the new and the way Doberman handled the rest of the film. So apparently Salem's Lot was initially like 3 different movies of different genres thrown together. The feedback from several test screenings, but they were test screening it 2 years ago, so it makes sense. Helped Warner Brothers edit it into the best version of itself, apparently. Recall that Stephen King, I replied to this, says, between you and me, Twitter, I've seen the new Salem's Lot and it's quite good. No, it's not. Old school horror filmmaking, slow, blah, blah, blah. And it says, not sure why Warner Brothers holding it back. Not like it's embarrassing or anything. No. Watching it would be embarrassing, mate. Shut up. And go write something about children having sex or something like that, you pervert. And he goes, I don't know why it's being held back. I just write the effing things. And you sell them like a pimp. You write stories to the world that you should consider your children, and you sell them like a pimp. So shut up, you old tit. No one cares what you've got to say, Stephen King. No one cares. No one gives one... Weren't you getting off Twitter anyway? Why aren't you off Twitter? You dumbass. Get off Twitter. No one wants you. No one wants you around here. Anyway, Warner Brothers allegedly has been so clueless as to what to do with the film that they passed on a rumoured May streaming release. They've deemed it releasable though, and graphics to promote it on the service's homepage are supposedly complete. So there you go. Let me have a look and see if there was any more information about this that I'd found. Don't think there is. No. No. So I'd literally heard on the 7th of September 2022 that yeah, it was god awful, basically. Absolutely terrible. So they're testing it 2 years ago. Wow, man. That is a shit show of a film. So it being unsalvageable, but then being like 3 different movies, that makes a lot of sense actually, to be honest. Like, hearing about that does make sense, doesn't it? But I wonder what that is. Is it really studio interference at that point? I mean, it's not, is it? It's producer interference. So you've got Gary Doberman wanted to make one type of film, James Wan, the producer, wanted to make another, and then Warner Brothers probably just sat in the middle going, can you just make one good fucking film, please? We're giving you money, please. I would imagine, anyway, that's probably the situation. I don't know, but I don't think... I mean, really, studio interference? It sounds like... Yeah, I mean, it does sound a hell of a lot like... James Wan's vision just clashed too much with Gary Doberman's. And that's why you've ended up with this nonsense piece of crap. But anyway, there you go. Different, completely unsalvageable. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this movie now. But yeah, that's why it's not come out yet. Like I must have done a video on this a while ago. I swear I did. Anyway, there you go. I've tweeted about it a few times. So yeah, bad times. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Apparently that's how it goes. It aligns perfectly with what I knew of it, that it's bad. And it sort of explains why it's bad. So let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear it. Give the video a like and a share. Turn the bell notifications on. Support the channel via Patreon. Or follow me over on Twitter at Mr. Reviews. And buying some merch at MrHshop.com. Cheers guys. Take care. Bye bye now.